Alright, now let's take a look at 60-degree ratios. We're going to be using the same proof as we did for 30, and I'm not going to harp on it much at all. We've drawn this triangle, this equilateral triangle, and cut it in half and all that. So if you need more explanation, just watch the video with 30 degrees to more in depth as to how we got to where we got. But we cut the triangle in half. Since the equilateral at 60-degree angles, we cut it in half and got 30-degree angles at the top, and we used the Pythagorean theorem to solve for the third side to have it in terms of x. So here's where we're at now. Because we're doing trig ratios at 60, our starting point is now at this angle, not that angle. So guess what? The values are going to change, right? Sine of 30 would be 1/2 x over x, opposite over hypotenuse. Sine of 60 would be square root of 3 over 2x, opposite, divided by hypotenuse. So of course they change depending on the angle that you start with. But you're going to see the same numbers come up just because this is the same triangle, right? Let's go ahead and get started with our trig ratios at 60 degrees. Now I always recommend doing this, labeling O, H, and A, because that's all the things you need for all these 6 trig functions. So opposite is going to be square root of 3 over 2x, different than the 30-degree angle. Hypotenuse is still x. That doesn't change because it's just opposite the right angle. And the adjacent side this time is 1/2 x. So basically what we're doing is we're swapping these two sides between 30 and 60. So let's do sine, square root of 3 over 2, square root of 3 over 2x divided by x. We get sine equals square root of 3 over 2. Going back to percentages, I just think that this is really helpful. For whatever reason I don't have this one pulled up, so we'll just do it real quick. 86%. Alright. Now you might not like doing percentages for trig ratios, but it helps. I've found that for the students I've had, it's helped a lot. It's helped them a lot. Let's talk a little bit about what this means. That means that this side, which is opposite of 60, is 86% of this side, and that's all a trig ratio is comparing one side to another. And I think sometimes doing percentages helps, just because square root of 3 over 2 is kind of an abstract number. Okay, cosine of 60, doing the math, adjacent again is 1/2 x, hypotenuse is still x, is 1/2. So that one's pretty simple. What that means, of course, is 50%. That means that this side is 50% of this side. It's half of that side. That's really easy to think about. Okay, if we were to take this side and kind of tilt it up, it'd be exactly half of the hypotenuse. Very simple to understand. Next we have tangent of 60. If you'll notice, it's going to be the same as cotangent of 30, just by the way they flip. But we'll learn those identities later. Those are come in handy when doing trig proofs. So yeah, we'll do keep, change, flip, and do some algebra. We end up with tangent of 60 equals the square root of 3. And I do remember this one, that is around 1.7, so that would be 170%. Going back to our triangle, what that means is, and again this is opposite over adjacent, this is the opposite side, this is adjacent side. It means this is around 170% of this, or 1.7 times bigger than this. Or for every 10 units here, it'd be 17 units there, feet, whatever, meters. So sometimes, it's just helpful to, especially when you're first learning trig functions, to kind of solidify this stuff and break it down a little bit more. Cotangent is hypotenuse over opposite. And we're going to do some quick algebra there. Again, if you have questions about this, let me know. I just don't want to harp too much on all this algebra. If you need review for algebra, I have videos on rationalizing the denominator and keep, change, flip, and all that kind of stuff. You can go back and look at those. Dividing by fractions and stuff. 2 square root of 3 over 3 is what we get for cosecant of 60. Again, if you notice, that's the same as secant of 30, and that's an identity. Again, we'll learn later on in this class. What is that as a percentage? So again, we're doing hypotenuse over opposite. Now as a percentage, I think I did actually have this one somewhere. 1.15, so that's about 115%. So that means that the hypotenuse is about 115% of the opposite side. We can see that here. Here's the hypotenuse, here's the opposite side of 60. So this is about 115% of that. Makes sense, just a little bit bigger. Alright, we'll go ahead and just do these last ones real quick. We got secant of 60. Secant is hypotenuse over adjacent, so you would flip cosine, right? If you flip cosine, you get 2. So that means, again, that the hypotenuse is twice as big as the adjacent side, or 200%. Finally, we have cotangent, which is adjacent over opposite, the flipped version of tangent. So again, we're doing the same kind of math we did in the last lesson. Okay, it's just basically the same as tangent of 30. We get square root of 3 over 3. And again, cotangent is adjacent over opposite. And so as a, this is kind of hard to do, huh? Without messing this up. Let's try that. Okay. Square root of 3 over 3 as a percentage is, why did I have to do that? Well, that's square root of 3 over 2. Okay, let's just put a 3 there. As a percentage, about 57%. So that means that the opposite side of 60, or sorry, the adjacent side of 60 is about 57% of the opposite side. So you can kind of see here, this is a little bit more than half of this, 57%. Adjacent over opposite. So hopefully those percentages help you. Again, this is the same proof that we did before for 30, so if you need more clarification, just go back and watch that video on proof of trig functions at 30. But if you have any other questions about trig ratios at 60 degrees, let me know.